Titanfall 2 is a game that took the well-established shooter genre and absolutely schooled all other games, at least in the gameplay department, if not the sales. So what exactly is Titanfall 2, and why do I think everybody who loves shooters should play it? What's in store for the franchise? I'm Rage at Games, and this is Titanfall 2. The sequel to the original Titanfall, Titanfall 2 was released worldwide on October 28, 2016 on the PlayStation 4, the Xbox, and for Windows. It was built using a heavily modified source engine, and it boasted a fast-paced gameplay style that mixed infantry with piloted agile mechs called Titans. Electronic Arts asinine decision to release the game in late October, directly between the launch of the two biggest juggernauts in the genre, Battlefield 1 and Call of Duty's, which one was it? Infinite Warfare. There was not a chance in hell, regardless of how amazing Titanfall 2 was, that it was going to hit anywhere near the numbers that EA required to consider it even meeting their expectations. We know how these big corporations work. Despite that, for some reason, they were apparently unworried about the release window, as they felt that the player base between Battlefield 1 and Titanfall 2 wouldn't overlap. This is a move that only goes to show the unbelievable level of detachment from reality that a publisher can have from its audience. They're both shooters, high-octane shooters. Of course, they were going to have an overlap of player base. It still, to this day, boggles my mind that they made this decision. The first week sales reached a quarter of the launch week sales of Titanfall 1. The same with digital sales. They were also a quarter of the first release, even though it was on multi-platform. Who could have guessed? Well, let's just put it in between the two biggest franchises of all time. So it'll be alright. This is fine. You know, everything's on fire around me, but this is fine. These numbers were down compared to the first game, expectedly, despite the fact that the reviews were generally very, very positive. The only real negatives being the shortness of the campaign and the slightly generic plot of it. Gameplay itself was a different story entirely, but we'll get to that in a minute. In an earnings call in 2017, EA stated that the game's sales fell below expectations. Wow, shocker. However, EA CFO, Chief Financial Officer Blake Jorgensen, he was quoted as saying the company was pleased with the positive reviews. He expected it to continue to sell decently in the following year. And Vince Zampella, the head of Respawn at the time, and the creator of Call of Duty, no less, he said that while Titanfall 2 sold well, and it was successful, it could have sold better. The reports estimate that the game sold 4 million units at the time. Here's a fun fact for you, by the way. Apex Legends is the Battle Royale is a spin-off of Titanfall. It takes place in the same universe, features some of the same characters like Ash and Blisk, I think a couple others. One of the characters is the child of one of the characters in Titanfall. It was released 3 years later in 2019, and as everybody who plays shooters right now knows, it exploded on the gaming scene. It's one of the biggest battle royales on the market now. Right around this time, a hacker decided to take on Titanfall 1 and 2 for infantile reasons I'm not going to get into. While EA and Respawn were focusing mainly on this point at Apex, and who can blame them, this person decided that they were going to shut down servers. And they managed it. They made it impossible for people to connect to servers in both Titanfall games. Players would be waiting to join matches that would never start, would be kicked back to the menus constantly. The game became unplayable. Respawn, for reasons none of us in the gaming community will probably ever understand, they did nothing. absolutely nothing about it, and they allowed the game to slowly die off while they worked on Apex Legends, which, in my opinion, is an absolute gaming tragedy. Now don't get me wrong, Apex is a massive IP that is absolutely printing money for EA and Respawn. I have no issues with that. Good on them for making one of the single most played games on the planet. It's a tragedy because Titanfall is absolutely amazing and is, in my nowhere near humble opinion, hands down the single best FPS ever made, bar none. Titanfall 2 is a competitive FPS that mixes both infantry-based gameplay and mechanized combat into one seamless package with a twist. The mechanized part refers to the Titans. They're agile, quick, powerful exoskeletons, basically, that are armed to the teeth and in-universe joined to the pilot by a neural link that allows you to control the Titan as if you were the Titan itself. Players spend their time switching back and forth between these two modes, as a pilot or in the Titan, making for this ever-changing, dynamically fluid gameplay style that's just, honestly, it's unmatched in any other game I've played. In pilot mode, you're a super soldier. You're capable of running super fast, wall running, jumping from wall to back and forth between wall to wall, high-speed bunny hopping along with sliding along the ground, and other tricks that affect your movement that chaining the abilities together will enable you to move at crazy speeds. So engaging in pilot versus pilot battles, it demands you have your twitch skills up on par. And then when you get into your Titan, it's a much more methodical, slower paced, and physically powerful feeling of gameplay. It can be played in two modes. You can play it in single player and various multiplayer modes. The campaign alone, for anyone watching this, the campaign alone is worth the cost of the game. Right now it's sitting on the Steam store for $40 Canadian. You play the role of Rifleman Jack Cooper, a regular infantryman. There's nothing special about you, but a pilot, Captain Lastimosa, has decided to train you, and one day you'll become a pilot yourself. So the game opens up with you in a drop pod landing on the planet as a part of the war. Shit goes down, you get injured, you're about to die before Lastimosa saves your ass, quite literally. Then he gets his own ass kicked, which ends up killing him, but not before he passes his Titan, BT-7274, onto you. And this is the beginning of an epic, if short, campaign that sees you and BT fight together against impossible odds, all the while developing this, there's no other word for it, a bromance between you and BT that's it's helped along with these dialogue options that, while they don't affect the story or the campaign in any way, they define the relationship that you as Cooper have with your bonded Titan BT.
Reinitialized. Ocular system online. Adjusting focus. Are you all right, pilot?
I think so. Wait, did you just call me pilot?
Yes. The late Captain Lastimosa gave you the provisional rank of acting pilot. Congratulations on your promotion. You may call me BT.
BT. Got it.
It's one of the single best campaigns I've ever played through, with levels ranging from wooded mountainous regions to massive underground complexes to heart-pumping set-piece moments that really show the trust between a pilot and his Titan.
My scans detect a functioning uplink targeting module, 428 meters northeast. My analysis indicates a throw is our only option here. I can throw you across the gap.
Are you sure about this?
There is a 68% chance of success.
What about the other 32%?
There is a 32% chance of an incomplete traversal, resulting in catastrophic trauma, massive internal bleeding, and multiple compound fractures. Dismemberment may also occur. 3 knots, heading 274. Range 95 meters. Projectile mass 89 kilograms. Trust me.
Good throw.
You're welcome, pilot.
There's even a level that utilizes time travel in a way that is just awesome.
Power now. We may never have another chance.
And multiplayer is just as good, if not better. There are the PvP modes that we're pretty much used to at this point, like attrition, capture the flag, hardpoint, others like that. And there's a PvE mode called Frontier Defense, in which you and 3 friends will team up to defend a base against ever increasingly difficult waves of enemies. In both of these modes, both on foot and in Titans, they are clearly taken into account, and the level of design absolutely nails this aspect, looking great while also allowing players to fully take advantage of the inherent movement abilities of the game, and it keeps the action at an absolutely frantic pace. Both modes also give the players the choice between multiple pilot styles, like the one with a grappling hook, or another with the ability to cloak themselves, just to name a couple. There's a decent range of weapons in the game, although for Call of Duty and Battlefield fans, this may seem slightly less appealing, as the lack of weapon attachments and build options for your guns is going to be noticeable when you're coming from those games. This was a decision Respawn made in order to focus on the gameplay experience itself, and I personally think it was the right call, because it allows players to quickly get used to the weapons on offer and then focus on the truly important aspects of the game, like the movement and the gunplay, and the exchange between the pilots and the Titans. Titans also come in various styles, from heavy to slow, fast and light. They have a unique weapon for each class of Titan, along with a range of abilities that you can choose from. They're customizable. Pilots and Titans can also change camos and weapon paint jobs. The weapons, the Titans, the pilot themselves, they have numerous camos and colors, and they can all be unlocked through gameplay, or, of course, in this day and age, bought in a store. There's no pay to win, however, everything is cosmetic only. Now, what's cool is, recently the game has been seeing a resurgence after Respawn quietly put out a fix for the servers, and player counts have been hitting like 20,000 at times. Just recently at 27,000 people playing concurrently. And when I checked this video, when I was making this video, there were 7,000 people concurrently playing. Getting matches is a breeze now. And because of this and a few other things going on, rumors are swirling around the internet now that Respawn is getting ready to hit us with Titanfall 3 as well. Cryptic posts on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, theme on the number 3 in several instances, and other tidbits floating around the internet that are giving us Titanfall fans some real wood, in the hopes that maybe, just maybe, Titanfall 3 will be on the way. And if it is, well, let's just say that if Respawn puts out a new Titanfall game, I probably won't play any other shooter for a long-ass time. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it was a bit different from what I normally upload on this channel. Let me know how you feel about it. Did I do a good job? Do you hate it or want to see more? I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Drop a like if you thought I did do a decent job. Subscribe to help me grow the channel if you're new. And until next time, I'm Rage at Games. Bye-bye.